Hello there, I'm Phil, and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Yes, hello there. Hello, strange week, a sad week for us, and a week following no football, and a week previewing only some football. I'm here with Anthony and Mike. Ant, how are you?
Yes, not bad. Yeah, apart from the sad news about the beloved Queen, but yes, hopefully we can have a nice pod tonight, boys, and cheer ourselves up a little bit.
How's your day been so far?
Well, thanks for asking. It was going okay until just returned from my lad's football match. He's 11 years old, and of which I am manager of. Poured down, so that was fun. Got soaked, and we lost 13-0. So sarcastic Ant is back. We've all had fun. Great stuff. Yeah, feeling pretty demoralised, boys. Not going to lie. So you boys have got about an hour to cheer me up because I'm feeling pretty dejected. Is I think the best word for it.
Who are you playing against?
A team a lot better than us. I mean, most of our team are the size of 8-year-olds, and we're playing against giants. So some of them need to eat, I don't know, something to make them grow. Spinach, I don't know, bunch of weeds. That's our problem. But harsh but fair. They need to go on a growth spurt sooner rather than later. Please.
With motivational managerial talk like that, mate, you're going to get far.
You need to go on a growth spurt. Well, that'll inspire them. Have you ever watched the probably 90s film Little Giants? And
what a film!
Little Giants. It's got the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in, I think.
Oh, amazing!
Rick Moranis.
Mick Moranis, yeah, that's what you need. You sit your team down and watch Little Giants.
Got you.
It's about an American football team, but don't worry. The actual theme of the film is all about how they can succeed, against all odds.
Well, I will look that up for some motivational stuff. Thank you.
I genuinely had some. Oh, hello there.
Oh, hi. Mike's here. How are you, Mike?
Hi, gang. Yeah, very good. Thank you. I actually genuinely on managerial training course today.
How was that?
Fairly dull. But one of the things they were talking about was setting achievable and attainable targets for your staff. Like, for example, have a growth spurt.
Yes.
That's to keep you. That's the way to keep your team motivated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, attainable targets.
Okay, and not to do a smooth transition at all, Mike, but if you're looking at your FPL team now, bearing in mind there are cancellations this week, what are you going to say to them? What is their achievable target this week?
I'm going to say to them, hey guys, now some of you were bought in with last week's fixtures in mind that were cancelled. However, yes, 6 of you are new members to the team. Yes, we've not had a game and I've spent 20 points on you. That is a sign of somebody who needs points. I need you to perform, please. And yes, a number of you are shared with most of the FPL world, but I need you to hit some points for me, please, lads. I am desperate.
Desperate, okay. And what you're saying to your team? How's it looking? Because for those who don't know, there are 3 games postponed in game week 8. Brighton at home to Palace, Chelsea at home to Liverpool, which is a shame. That would have been a good game. And Man United at home to Leeds. So those have all been cancelled. So if you've got any players from those teams, they won't be playing this week. And what's your team looking like?
Well, lacking in numbers, boys. I've only got 9 at the moment.
Ooh.
So yeah, no one on the bench. And Diaz of Liverpool, Darlow of Manchester United have only brought in last week with, as Mike said, the fixtures in mind. So yeah, I've only got 9. So it's going to have to be a minus haul to start the week, I think. Otherwise, I haven't even got 11. Ooh, so try and get double figures, boys, please.
So you both made transfers early. I mean, I don't know why I'm asking Mike that. And you made transfers early.
Yeah, we made. Yeah, my lad and I made our changes. I think on Wednesday of last week. Yeah, so obviously before they called it all off. Yeah, so we bought in Darlow and Neto the Bournemouth goalkeeper. So, and then the other issue I've got is I've got 4 players.
Sorry, just to be clear, you brought in 2 goalkeepers.
No. Darlow, the no, not Darlow of Dallow of Manchester United.
Sorry, do apologise. Okay, yeah.
But I have got 4 players from the Arsenal Brentford game, which isn't ideal, especially when 2 are Arsenal defenders and 1's Tony.
The Arsenal Brentford game is going ahead, is it not? I'm getting very confused.
Yes,
is it
they've
going ahead or
shifted the
not?
kickoff. It is, but they've shifted the kickoff to 12 o'clock apparently, but it is going ahead.
Okay.
But it's the only game in London that seemingly is.
Mm.
Oh no, Spurs against Leicester on Saturday night is. But yeah, most of the London games have been called off, but they've shifted it to 12 o'clock, and it is going ahead. And praise the Lord, because I would really be struggling if they weren't.
Yeah, I was surprised. So we took our girls, because my 5-year-old was devastated about the Queen. I was, sad. It's all we've ever had, and it felt very strange. So, but my 5-year-old spent a whole term learning about the Jubilee last year at school, and so was quite invested with the Queen, and then was very sad. Just wouldn't stop crying. So we said we'll take her up to Windsor Castle. It's about an hour and a half from here. So we went to Windsor Castle on Saturday and laid some flowers, and then went into London, which was the kids' first time. I mean, London was chaos. I mean, I know it's normally busy.
London is chaos, isn't it?
And it is, but the police needed just at Buckingham Palace, was crazy. I don't know how they're having any games in London, to be honest.
Yeah, it was nice to go though. Let's talk about that just about briefly. How was that for you? Because I also went.
So you went up on the Friday, didn't you?
Mm.
So Windsor Castle was an incredibly moving moment. I really felt like quite humbled there. And Windsor was a beautiful place, but London was just so busy, and like the tubes are so hot. I mean, I know I sound like someone who's never been out of his own house, but I've had, I know London's only like a couple of hours away, but I've been there about 5 times in my whole life. But the tubes are just so hot. And then we took the girls to Piccadilly Circus to go to the Lego store. Oh, you need to book to go to a shop. It was that busy. So we couldn't go there. So we wasted like 8 stops on the tube to sweat effectively, which wasn't fun. How did you find it, Michael?
Well, I found it. It was a heady mix, really, of genuine grief. Feels like a strong word, but genuinely wanted to pay my respects, mixed with tourism.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people, and I'm happy to admit I took a couple of pictures of the boys because I wanted them to remember that they were there on what was quite a seismic moment in history. But that in itself felt uncomfortable and awkward thing to do. But people really go mad for it with their camera phones, and live in the moment, guys. There was a bit of that. I think one thing that's troubled me is the response that Meghan Markle has got, and I've been watching more and more on that this week. And I get it, we're not a political or a monarchy podcast, but I've got an analogy for you, lads. I'm a big fan of S Club 7. Now,
I can't wait to see where this is going.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like you've perfectly moved from quite a not a serious moment, but a somber moment, and you've escalated it immediately with S Club 7. You're taking us out of that and back onto the pod.
Well, yes. So, but don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So, S Club 7, for those listening in Singapore, you'll remember them. To be fair, they were a global phenomenon, pop phenomenon. 7 members, hence the name S Club 7. What does S Club stand for? Whatever you want it to was the official answer to that. Later found out it was S for sexy. Anyway,
was it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it really? Okay. Well, that's surprising.
Oh,
here we go. It's good.
It reminds me, we haven't got time for the Hannah anecdote, but it reminds me of the time I met Hannah from SQ7, but we haven't got time for that right now.
Oh, we
Anyway,
have.
No, we haven't.
definitely
We've
have.
always got time.
100% have.
Anyway, S Club 7, great pop phenomenon. I loved S Club 7, and I was too old to love them really, but I really like them. Great pop tunes, great guys, always a smile on their face. Lovely. They don't make tracks, they don't make bands like that anymore. Let's say groups. Anyway, Paul Catamol, whose phone number I now have, he left the band. The band had made him. Okay, he was just a kid from St Albans, but the band had made him. Fine. He signed up to the band. He gave it a good shot. Actually, it wasn't working for him. He wanted to go off and form a rock band. You know what, Paul? That decision hurt because it splintered. It splintered S Club 7 in some way. It was a fractious move. But when the opportunity arose for me to go and watch S Club 7 reunited on their tour just a few years ago.
At what age were you at this point?
35 probably.
Perfect.
And Paul was there. I wasn't snubbing Paul. I wasn't booing Paul. Welcome back, Paul. Welcome back. Thanks for being here to celebrate one of the greatest pop phenomenons of my generation. Probably the generation below me. And and so it is for me with Meghan Markle. She's gone off, and Harry, they've gone off. They've had to go and do their thing. That's what they felt cool to do. Leave them be. They've come back. Let's welcome them out with open arms. We know it's not a permanent thing. Paul is going to have his troubles. He's gone on First Dates on Channel 4. Check it out sometime. It's a very awkward episode to watch. But I was happy to give him my support and sing along with his vocals in Reach. Not a problem.
Okay, great.
Daily Mail, leave her alone.
Yeah, I haven't. Ant's gone. He's gone. I haven't followed.
This is cheering me up. This is exactly what I needed. This is the content everybody needed, I think.
This is the fantasy football chat that people wanted and tuned in for. Yeah, I haven't followed any of the Meghan Markle stuff because I thought it was all tabloid, so I didn't need to. So I don't know enough about it to comment. But thank you for the analogy. I mean, it obviously brings us round to the fact that a lot of people are wildcarding this week in panic. I'll be as smooth as I can. I'm just wary that we're 12 minutes in. So yeah, a lot of people are wildcarding this week because they may have 4 or 5 people. Are you drinking wine?
No, drinking Coke from a wine glass.
You're so cool.
Wow. Actually, from a gin glass. Actually.
Wow.
Gosh, get you.
Well, dishwasher's on, isn't it? And it's so. I could open it up, but glass is so hot when the dishwasher's just finished.
Yeah. It really is. And it, if you put, I think, is it glass one way round? It risks being cracked if it goes from hot to cold or cold to hot. Maybe it's hot to cold. So
Either
you
way, I
don't
wouldn't risk it.
Don't take the risk.
No.
So yeah, okay, fine. Drinking Coke. Cool.
Thank you.
So wildcard teams, then people are wildcarding. They're panicking because they've got lots of assets. A lot of them, like you, may have bought in assets for last week's games that didn't happen.
Yes.
So I've asked you to pick a wildcard team, so to inspire those who are in that situation. So have you done that, Michael?
Oh yeah, I mean, I do a wildcard team every week.
Correct.
Genuinely, I'd love to. Is there a way that I can track what transfers I made and when?
Yes, you go
on the
to
transfer
FPL
history.
site.
I'm on the website.
On the right-hand panel.
More.
No, go down to on the team. It shows where you are in the leagues. You might not want to look at that bit, and then go underneath there. It says transfers and finance, total transfers.
Oh, sorry.
transfer
Automatically,
history.
I just click on transfers page. Hold on. Points.
No. Oh, hang on a second.
Fantasy.
This is awkward.
You found it?
Oh,
Found
hold
it?
on. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You
Right.
found it?
Transfer
Yeah.
history, found it. Yeah, good.
Transfer history. No,
I've
not
made
found
4
transfer
all
history,
season.
guys.
This is amazing.
Top transfers out this week.
No, you clown. This is terrible
This is
content.
embarrassing stuff. This is an
Literally
FPL
any.
podcast. This is outrageous.
So literally if you click on points, okay, go to points on the
I'm going
right
to
hand side.
points.
You got your team
Yeah.
name. This is an education for anyone who's 8.
AFC
playing for the
Boto.
first time.
Game week
Yeah.
history.
No, scroll
keep going.
down
My
under
fan
that
league.
panel. You've got all the leagues. Then you've
Leagues.
got transfers and finance.
Oh yes. Transfer
you've got-
history.
Oh, sweet relief.
Oh, okay.
Sweet relief.
So game week 7, I made 1, 2. Sorry. So game week 7, I actually only made 3 transfers, and
Wow.
I've made 4 this week.
Ah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I've made 4 all season so far.
I mean, in amongst that, I bought in Fofana and then took him out again.
Oh, right, because he's not playing.
And I bought in Cucurella and took him out again.
He's been awful, hasn't he? Really, since he's getting stick already since his move to Chelsea. And I mean, it was a move that I didn't particularly understand that kind of money, but I presume it was purely down to his hair.
Well, perhaps Potter, if you'll excuse the pun, Potter will work his magic.
Beautiful. I wonder how many times we'll hear that in the coming weeks.
Clever.
So you've done a wildcard team.
Oh yeah, sorry. Right, wildcard team. Here we go. Let's go. Focus. Potter.
15 minutes in, and we're going to get some player names. Let's go.
Here we go.
Talk us through your wildcard
okay.
then.
In goal, I've gone for Henderson of Nottingham Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do get that his penalty save points are somewhat skewing his rating, but I'm going to go with them anyway. Fulham at home this weekend. I've tripled up on Newcastle, including 2 Newcastle defenders, and there's a bit of me wishes I'd got Isaac into this team, but I haven't. So my defence looks like this: Kieran Trippier, Matt Targett.
Oh, I was so ready over the Dan Burn button. I'm a bit upset.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No Dan Burn.
Uh,
I've got Dyer of Spurs, and I've got Cancelo. Sticking with him.
Okay.
In midfield, some might say this is a weak midfield for this week, but not me. Ward-Prowse. Martinelli.
You can't resist. You cannot resist.
Can't resist a bit of Ward-Prowsage. Martinelli. Saint-Maximin, please be fit. And then up front, a front 3 of Haaland. Kane, that's right, Phil. Kane.
Unbelievable.
I know you were talking about bringing him in last week, but you haven't bought him in yet. And therefore, have you bought him in yet?
Down the flaming Crosby!
Have you bought him in yet, Phil?
I've had it. Enough! I've put up with your flaming bacon and eggs. I've put up with your flaming vacuum cleaner. I will not have you treating me like a child. Is that clear? Now get out!
Philip, have you bought him in yet?
Right. So
just answer the question. It's a simple yes or no answer is fine.
Not yet, because it's not.
Well, but so actually, what you would be doing if you bring in Harry Kane now is copying me.
I mean, it's a ridiculous statement. My plan was to bring in Harry Kane against Man City, who's due to play, if I remember rightly, and then have Harry Kane in my team. And you, at the time, said, absolutely, I won't do that. Yeah, you can keep him. You can keep him. I want players that aren't going to play this week.
Definitely
instead.
paraphrasing here. I can't remember. But
I'm disappointed with your behaviour.
Well, there you go. I'll be disappointed if you copy me. And then, leaving Saliba as my only option on the bench with Diaz and Zaha to come in next week.
Okay, so you're going to have some people in your wildcard on the bench that are due.
Yeah, so look, there's a few unusual picks, I guess. There, Dyer of Spurs is an unusual one, but at 5 mil, I think they're running games off as clean sheets. Similarly, Target of Newcastle. Dan Burn is in and out, so.
Now you say him. Now I'm not hovering over his name.
Don't worry about it. Botman is nailed on to play, but I think Target and Trippier are as well. So I'd look at 2 from 3 maybe there. So Maximan's my big gamble, both in terms of fitness and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's an exciting player to watch, though. We've said that before, haven't we? So
he's amazing, but I think unfortunately he's not going to be fit, which is a good thing for Bournemouth and for Adam Smith. But yeah, he's not looking likely to be fit, apparently.
Okay, so there's my dream team, my wildcard team, if you like. Have you both done one as well? We could maybe genuine way up.
I have put a little one together for this week, which is actually quite similar, but I'll just run through it if you want.
Please.
I've also gone at triple Newcastle at the back as they are playing Bournemouth. So I've gone Pope in goal with Dan Burn, Phil's favourite.
Okay, wait. Yeah, it feels delayed. It's not as good delayed.
No, sorry about that. With Kieran Trippier, I think it's been brilliant so far. And then also Dyer. I think Dyer at 5 mil, as most said, does provide real value for money. Spurs' highest scoring defender so far this season. And Spurs have some good fixtures. So, him in along with Saliba and Zinchenko of Arsenal. Midfield, there's a couple of controversial picks in here, to say the least. Not quite Harry Winks controversial, but fairly poor. But I've gone for Kulusevski, Gundogan and De Bruyne as kind of the big three, and then as kind of enablers, Gibbs White at 5.5, who had probably his best game for Forest last game out, and then Anthony Gordon as well. Everton at home to West Ham, who aren't having a great season. And then the front three would be Jesus, Mitrovic, and Haaland.
Okay, that's nice then. I've seen a lot of teams getting in Bowen, despite no goals, no assists this season.
I think
West Ham have got good fixtures. That was brought up last week on the podcast, wasn't it? In a listener question from Craig. But Bowen, he's played pretty much every minute of every game, apart from 6 minutes against Forest. He's not done anything yet. Is it a case of getting on him before he does anything?
Well, as soon as he has one good game, everyone's is gonna go. I mean, he's down at 2% ownership, I think, at the moment. So he'd actually be not the worst punch out in the world. But yeah, I mean, after the heavy heights, was he the 4th highest scoring midfielder in the game last season? Something like that. Sure, his value rocket, but he's not got going yet. But neither have West Ham, have they? And then, of course, they had the injustice of the Chelsea game last time out with that, probably the worst VAR decision to date, which is something.
Was it worse than the Newcastle Palace VAR?
I would say equally as worse.
Yeah, it was up
they
there,
were
wasn't
both pretty appalling.
Mike, I don't know what you're putting into your mouth right now, but I'm wondering if you can prepare yourself for the all aboard feature, because I'd like to discuss players that have been transferred in, and I've got the music ready when you are, and when you're happy to unmute and stop chewing. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to look at the players that people are jumping on.
I'm so sorry, I didn't realise I was muted. I've been wanting to butt in for ages. Just to say, Kulusevski took him out. He's had a rotten vein of form since the first week, maybe second week.
It's weird because
Richarlison is right on his tail in terms of a starting spot as well.
Son's not done anything either, has he?
No, nothing at all, has he? He's not linking up with Kane this season. That's all gone very quiet, that partnership.
Give it time. Give it time. I think the cream always rises to the top.
Well,
unless you put a brick on it or something, which doesn't stay put.
A brick on cream?
I mean, you could.
Presumably the cream is still in its packet then in this scenario.
No, I'm
because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced a packet of cream actually does rise to the top.
No, I mean, if you put some cream on the ground, it's not going to evaporate if you put a brick on it. I haven't thought the brick analogy through, and you may be right.
Feels rushed.
Rushed is correct. Talking of rush, Mike, you ready with the all aboard?
All aboard. Let's do it.
Hang on, what are you eating?
I'm eating raw. Well, it's not even raw. It's worse than raw. Frozen garlic bread.
Oh my goodness! What?
Well, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Even by your standards, that's bizarre.
Well, I put it in the oven and it was like time to go live. So I whisked it out of the oven and it's still frozen in the middle. But what I'm doing is I'm hovering it. I'm hovering it over the overly cooked chili that I've got with it. And it's beginning to sort of thaw it out partially.
Okay,
great.
Anyway,
okay.
All aboard. Okay, so just in case you're new to the pod, this is the section of the pod where we look at players who have been transferred in this week. We're all aboard those trains. Let's look at the top 6 tonight then. We're looking in 6th place this week is Isaac. Isaac, 72,000 people have transferred him in now at 5.2 ownership after just one full outing for Newcastle. Next, number 5 is Marcus Rashford. A lot of people are jumping on board the Rashford train. 121,000. Just up from him is Mitrovic. 3rd place, De Bruyne. Now at 26.9% ownership. And 2 Newcastle recruits in the top 2. We have mentioned them already. Ant has at least declared his love for one. Pope. 158,440 people bringing him in. All aboard the Pope train. But the one we're all jumping on is Kieran Trippier. Nearly 200,000 transfers in. Kieran Trippier, all aboard!
Oh, you nailed the timing there, considering
really
the preamble. I feared for you, to be honest.
Well,
it's beautifully done, Michael. Well done.
Thank you, lads. I'll get back to my frozen garlic bread.
And with Phil, I was just going to say, with Newcastle playing Bournemouth, hardly surprising that everyone is jumping aboard the Trippier train, is it really?
Yeah, 3 of the top 6 are Newcastle players. Rashford is in there. United haven't got a game, but I imagine that's maybe transfers that are hanging over from the non-game week last time, because I was going to bring him in, wasn't I?
Yes.
You've then got just below Isaac, you've got Cancelo, Perisic, Kane, and Son. Son has been transferred in 46,000 times this week. I wonder whether people are. Well, we know they are. Do you want to know who the top transferred out players are? See if you can guess.
Please.
See if you can guess the top 10 between you.
Oh.
Trent.
Yeah, he's number 2.
Salah.
Number 1.
Oh wow.
I'll just tell you. Gross, Diaz, Jesus has been transferred out. Fifth most. I suppose a lot of people going to Kane. That was the move I was doing, so they probably heard about that. Sanchez has been transferred out 75,000 times because obviously he's not got a game. Likewise, Reece James, Robertson because he's injured and not been playing well. Rashford and Zaha because he's not got a game. But a lot of people see. I've got Salah. I think I'm probably just going to hold him.
Hold fire.
But with those fixtures, I mean, I know that he's not played well, Salah. There's a lot of talk about how badly he's played, and I get that. But he's still got 1, 2, 3. The 9th most points in the game so far.
He's also just scored this evening.
Has he?
In the Champions League. 7 games he'd gone without a goal in the Champions League, but tonight he scored.
That's mad, though, isn't it? When you think how quiet he's been this season, yet he's still inside the top 10. That probably says it all about what we kind of expect from him.
Exactly. I mean, the highest scoring midfielder this season is Pascal Gross, who's on 42, and Salah's on 38. It's not the end of the world for Salah, so I'll probably end up keeping him. He's gone down in value by 0.1 at the time of recording. I imagine he'll go down by more than that, but yeah, it's surprising everyone's jumping off him. But if you're wildcarding, then why not? It's going to be an interesting season because Salah down to 44% ownership means that more teams haven't got him than have, which must be the first time in a long time that's been the situation.
Yeah, and I think with Liverpool, I think they're a bit of a basket case, and actually it's all gone a bit south for them, hasn't it? Since they beat us 9-0. They've not really pushed on from there. And I see they're drawing tonight as well at home to Ajax, a game you'd expect them to win. So I think probably a lot of people are looking to get off the Liverpool assets at the moment.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I think the main target for a lot of people has been Mitrovic, as you were saying, Mike. He's been transferred in an awful lot of times. Did you say he was in your wildcard team?
Not in mine.
Mitrovic was in mine, yeah.
He was in yours. Okay. Yeah, because he looks like he can play against anyone. He's got a great run of fixtures coming up. Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, West Ham, Bournemouth, Villa, Leeds, Everton.
Yeah, he's been flying so far this season, hasn't he? And he's kind of carried on into form from last season. So we know the last couple of times he's in the Premier League, it's not happened for him. Yeah, he is flying. Already sat there with 39 points so far this season. So yeah, not surprised. 26% ownership now. So I'm surprised it's not a little bit higher actually. He's only his worst week was week 2 when he obviously got the -1. Other than that, 13, 6, 7, 9, and 5 is a pretty impressive record, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, he's been decent, hasn't he? Consistent, which is I'm happy for him. It's nice when you see a player get a second chance in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine if it continues, then people may be looking at him in January. Who knows?
Yeah, a bit like Bamford. You know, he was that season he had a great season, Bamford, but he was a laughing stock before that season.
Well, he's a laughing stock now.
Unbelievable comments. I don't want to talk anymore to you. So considering the games we've got, you've got some big teams not playing, so a lot of captain options are wiped out. You've got. I'll just go over the fixtures and a reminder that there's 2 fixtures on Friday night. So the deadline is 6:30 on Friday. So you've got Aston Villa at home to Fulham. Aston Villa at home to Southampton. Nottingham Forest at home to Fulham. Saturday, you've got the early kickoffs Wolves Man City. Then there's only one 3 o'clock game, which is Newcastle Bournemouth. And then at 5:30, it's Spurs Leicester. Then you've got Brentford Arsenal at 12 on Sunday. And then at 2:15 on Sunday, Everton West Ham. So captain wise, is it? I mean, we had questions last week saying, is Haaland a perma captain? I don't think it's that obvious this week. Away at Wolves.
Yeah, it's not the easiest game, but then Wolves have been have certainly been quite offensively, haven't they? I mean, maybe if you can get a bit left field, what about someone like Kieran Trippier? I know Bournemouth turned the game around against Nottingham Forest last time out, but we have been a little bit shot shy, haven't we? And if they get a free kick 25 yards out from goal, he's your man. So if he comes up strong, I mean, this is the week, isn't it? This feels a bit like a COVID weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One 3 o'clock game on a Saturday. It's all broken up, and this is the chance. Yeah, if you get your captain choice right here, big chance to make up the points in your mini leagues.
It very much feels like COVID. When you had Spurs getting a game called off about an hour or two beforehand, and all of that. It feels that way, and it feels like for a lot of teams, they'll just be hoping to get through this week. If they're not wildcarding, they won't want to take loads of hits. So hopefully, if the average is 60 and they get 55, it's not the end of the world. It feels like that sort of a week for my team. It looks like I'm going to be playing my dear boy Longstaff in midfield. So good old Sean Longstaff. Well, he's 4.4 million, and he got an assist against Liverpool, so that's impressive. And he's playing Bournemouth at home. He's played in every game this season so far for Newcastle. So
I don't think he's going to play this weekend.
Brilliant.
I would suggest you may be the only one who may be looking to captain him. I'll leave it at that. Sorry. I definitely don't suggest I'm captaining him. Okay. I was going to say. I mean, that's all levels of crazy.
Yeah. What I mean is, sorry, I forgot we're talking about captaincy. So sorry.
Are you all right, Phil?
Clearly not. My humble apologies. Captaincy, what about Harry Kane then? What about Harry Kane?
Yeah, he's my captain. So I'd really rather you didn't copy me on that.
Don't mention the Kane. Oh no, it feels like
he always scores against Leicester.
He always scores against Leicester. Leicester, bottom of the league. They look in a right old mess, don't they? I actually like Leicester off the back of their shock win all those years ago, but yeah, they're falling apart at the seams.
I will be getting in Kane, Mike.
Oh, really?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
what a copycat sitting on the doormat.
I mean, the good news is with you, there's high chance that on Friday you might go, oh, if I get rid of Kane, I fancy maybe Son will do it. I don't know with you whether that's your finished team. So, I live in hope that you get giddy again, and after you've got food poisoning from your frozen garlic bread, I hope that your team changes again, because you've played a couple of dirty cards in the last couple of weeks. Because before the games were cancelled last week, you decided to steal my punt of Patrick Bamford as well. Luckily, that didn't happen, and you didn't get to reap. You didn't get to reap the goals that he would have got you. Yeah.
Brotherly love.
Some of us will never forget that move you just did. Never.
Can you think of any players that have got the name Custard? Oh, there's a good one. I've just thought of another one. Just building up to a little thing I've been working on, the Biscuit 11.
Excellent.
Biscuits 11.
Excellent. What other games have got a potential captain in them? Because if Brentford, Arsenal, will Arsenal want payback after Brentford beat them at home last season? Or will it go the other way, that Brentford are uber confident?
One of those games could go either way. And one of those horrible games for me where I got defenders from one and attackers from other. Yeah, what about Ivan Toney? Fresh off the back of his hat-trick against Leeds. would suggest he's not playing a defence quite as leaky as Leeds, but all the same, he's going to be on it. Although I think although it's only a 1 week break, some people will have lost that little bit of momentum. So he's definitely one to who could be a bit of a left field choice.
What about the idea of captaining Mitrovic? I know it's in the first game of the game week, which means I couldn't possibly do it. But Mitrovic is playing Forest, who have conceded more shots than like anyone in the league. He is high on form, and his confidence is going to be through the roof. So, what about Mitrovic as captain?
Well, other than it's the early game,
that.
Yeah, it's a not bad chat. I mean, Forest have signed 23 players now, is it? But they've still got a centre half player who can't kick a football. So, I mean, you'd expect Mitrovic to be in the points in that one. But it is the early game, and we know the rules on captaining in the early game.
Well, Mike, let's not forget. I've just remembered. Mike's not choosing his captain this week, is he? Do you remember he lost the quiz last week?
He did.
Oh, well, no, that was...
I'm captaining Harry Kane on Saturday.
Lads, there's nothing. These are unique circumstances. Unfortunately, my captain was meant to be picked for last weekend. It's not my fault. The fact the fixtures were cancelled. In the same way that I made a load of transfers and I can't get those points back.
Mikey, that was so not right.
Nor can you claim that I'm going to have to roll this over.
In the last quiz we did, you lost. You are getting your captain picked this week.
Well, I don't know that I am.
And I can't wait for them. I cannot
I
wait for them to captain someone that's not Harry Kane.
I'm not convinced that is what's happening.
No,
what I would say is...
I tell you what, we live in a democracy. We live in a democracy. There's
do we?
Three of us. And, what are your views?
Oh dear. This, I feel like it should roll over, but I can also see Mike's eyes burning with hatred.
Yeah, but they're just his eyes. He's had some frozen garlic bread.
This is purely because you don't want him to captain Kane, isn't it, Phil?
Let's move away from this just for the time being and hope that we're distracted enough never to come back to it. I do have a stat on Mitrovic and lunchtime kickoffs in the Premier League.
Wow, let's hear
Mitrovic this season has averaged 2 goals a game when playing in the lunchtime Saturday kickoff.
Has he played in one lunchtime Saturday kickoff?
Yes, so he scored 2 goals.
Perfect. It's a great stat. You're having your captain picked. Right. I know that any quiz this week is... You're right, Ant.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fine. This is
I
beautiful
know,
stuff.
But
Beautiful.
Mike, last week you trailed a quiz that you wanted to put to me and Ant, and you asked me to get some romantic music, which is why I introduced the pod, playing it. So is now the time for your quiz before we go into your next feature?
Play your jingle and I'll be there.
Well, what, the quiz jingle or the romantic music jingle? What would you like to hear first?
The quiz jingle.
It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by a listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz.
Hooray. I'll be honest, lads. I have lost the list, but
unbelievable.
But I've got my own take on who the top 10 best looking footballers are. So I've got a list here. So all you've got to do is name a player, and I'll tell you whether they feature in the top 10 or not.
Of your
my
list,
sexiest Premier League footballers right now.
Right. Okay. So is it just maybe we get like 5 guesses each, and the person? How are you working this?
Yeah, you can have 5 guesses each, and I'll tell you if they feature in my top 10 or not.
And if Ant says 1 and it's correct, I can't say
You
the
get a
same.
point. Get a point. Correct. Well, yes, that
Okay.
would be a quite ridiculous thing. Otherwise, you just give the same answer 5 times and get 5
I was
points.
going to say, Ant, you can go first. You can do your 5 first.
Just one at a time.
Okay.
Alternate, by all means. Alternate.
Alternate, please do, please.
Here we go. All right, boys. My top 10 sexiest Premier League players right now.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, by
Yes,
all means.
Anthony, we discussed this. Yeah.
James Maddison.
James Maddison.
Gotta be in
Not
your top
even close. What a
What?
skanky little slime ball he is. Not for me, Clive. Not for me.
Yeah. I think I'm straight in on the points here with Joao Cancelo.
Joao Cancelo. He is a looker for sure. Yes. Wow, Cancelo, I like to call him. Okay, point to Phil.
Good looking. What about Lloyd Kelly?
I'm really sorry, Lloyd. A close personal friend of mine. Follows me on Twitter. More on that later. But Lloyd Kelly, it's a no from me.
Does he follow you on Twitter? Okay. I'm going to go with an obvious one. I'm surprised Ant didn't go there, but Martin Odegaard.
Martin Odegaard, I mean, it's a great shout. He's got those High School Musical boy band looks. Martin Odegaard is in there. Phil, we obviously go for the same kind of guy.
That is correct, yeah. That is correct.
2 out of 2 for Phil, 0 out of 2 for Ant, and it can all change. Hit me up.
Oh, how about? I mean, I'm not surprised Phil's good at this.
Thank you.
What about? Oh my goodness, Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. There is a lot something about Kevin De Bruyne, but I don't go for redheads. I'm sorry, Ant.
Oh, this is redheadist. This is outrageous.
I'm really sorry. So no, and you've got to get at least the next 2 right just to draw.
Oh dear. Well, this is.
Well,
Right.
Voiter,
All right.
who is watching along, has come up with the next one. It's got to be Patrick Bamford.
Oh, Patrick Bamford. He might be the housewife's favourite. He's not one of mine, I'm afraid.
That is
sorry.
unbelievable.
I'm sorry. I need a little bit more from my man. Yes, he can play the violin.
Yeah.
Yes, he's intelligent. But that doesn't float my boat, I'm afraid. I need a little bit more than that.
Okay.
What about Jack Grealish?
Oh, God, what is it with you and greasy, slicked back hair? And I've already explained that's not my thing.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, Jackie. Not even with those calves, my friend. Not even with those calves.
Poor
Not getting
Jack.
anywhere near me. So you're playing
Okay.
for pride now.
So I'm thinking, how is Mike going to work this? And I'm thinking, who does Mike love more than anyone else? And I'm thinking, well, himself. So who looks like a young Michael Botto a little bit? Jack Harrison.
Oh, no. Well, we could get really deep right now, but that actually feeds into a lack of self-esteem that I have deep down under this bravado. I'm afraid Jack Harrison does not feature on my list.
Ah, okay. What?
Yeah, but thank you anyway.
Hey, no
How
problem.
about
Go on.
he's Spanish, so
Yes.
he's got a nice tan. Bernardo Silva.
Yes. Bernardo Silva is there, and what a guy! What a
there you
guy! Oh my goodness, brown eyes like muddy pools I could fall into. Yes.
Okay.
I hate your wife
Last
right
one
now.
then, Phil. Last one.
Final one for me is Hugo Lloris.
What?
Hugo Lloris. I'm really sorry, Phil. Not for me, Clive. Not
Oh.
for me.
Ant was devastated that I said Lloris.
Baffling.
Yeah.
He's French.
Oh, I see.
Ben White.
I'm sorry,
Flash.
hang on a second. Rewind a second. The only reason Ant is devastated that I suggested Hugo Lloris is his Frenchness.
Yeah, it's reason enough.
Oh,
Gosh.
poor Hugo.
In my management course today, I found out that's not the sort of thing you can say anymore. just so you know. Definitely
Ben
can't say that
White.
anymore.
Yeah, I was
Are we
thinking
finished?
Ben White.
We've actually finished now, lads. I think you've had 5 guesses
Yeah.
each,
Oh,
haven't
what?
you?
I've had 5 each. God, hasn't time gone far? Gone fast there.
Well, I can tell you that number one, and actually, if I close my eyes and just hear his name, it kind of works. Allison. He's a beautiful, beautiful man.
Okay.
Beautiful man.
A bit heavy on the tats, but okay.
Yeah.
No, look, I've got a thing for men with tats. What of it?
I've got a couple of tats. So
If loving Allison is wrong, then baby, I don't want to be right.
okay. Good.
Oh dear.
Good. So, what players? We've had a question sent in. Do you remember fancy football? Do you remember this fancy football podcast that we claim to do?
Yeah.
So, I've had a question about players who are under £5 million in the midfield. There's not a huge plethora of players you can choose from, but which of the under £5 million midfielders would you get in for this week on a 1 week punt?
Okay, this is live. This is live.
Yeah. I'll tell you straight away. I should get the music going again. But I imagine anyone listening to this in their car and maybe in a traffic jam is probably freaking out. Cars next to them. Miguel Almiron.
Oh yeah.
1.9%
ownership.
You don't need the music for Morph, mate. She got a thing for Morph. You can't. That's not a thing. Surely. Thought we shared the same taste in men.
Oh, I do like Miguel Almiron.
You throw me right off there.
It's. I mean, I haven't got the music, but I like his smile. Do.
Oh, Shanice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about a player Phil keeps bigging up, Marcus Tavernier, Bournemouth? I think he is only 4.9 million. He is only 4.9 million. Playing Newcastle away, it's not the easiest game, but he's under 5 million. And he's looked good. He's looked comfortably our best summer signing so far.
He's got a good run of fixtures ahead as well. I know this was a question for a 1 week punt, but he really has got a good run of fixtures ahead.
Really does.
It is a controversial. I think Saints are going to go to Villa and get something, and I'd look at Gineppo.
Would you?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I would, lads. There you go. Yeah, I've said it. I've gone there. 0.1% ownership.
No wonder.
He got 5 points last time out. No, he didn't. First time out. From there, I'll be honest. From there, lads, I'll be honest. It's deteriorated. 5-2-2-2-1-1. And equally, the minutes played have gone from 90, 88 down to 17. So make of that what you will. It's life.
Terrible advice. Okay, left field one for you. Currently played 0 minutes all season. James Garner of Everton, 4.5 million. Just signed him from Man United. There was a lot of fuss over the transfer. I mean, I think he's gonna play. I think 4.5 million for James Garner might be a shrewd move, even if he's your last sub for now.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
It's not the worst shout. I mean, yeah, you would expect him to start playing for Everton soon, wouldn't you? With Everton have been pretty hopeless so far.
Yeah, that is very true. Gineppo,
That has made my night, Mikey. Thank you. After the standing in the rain and losing 13-0, this really has cheered me up.
Does it feel like you only lost by 12 now?
Yeah, yes, it does. I'm feeling much more positive about the world.
Happy to help.
Thank you, mate.
By the way, you never really asked me anymore on my Mo Salah was in there. He's ripped, that guy. Ripped.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Mo Salah. Again, nice smile.
Nice smile. Nice smile. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
What about if you were walking down a dark alley and you wanted your man to look after you? Surely you'd go for a bit of Dan Burn.
Oh, I go Souček myself.
Oh, it's looping. It's looping the music.
Oh gosh, I can imagine.
Oh
no! Please no!
Oh no!
Please no!
Stop!
Imagine. I can imagine being spooned by Thomas Souček.
That's a mental image I do not need.
If you wanted to be spooned by him or Ruben Loftus-Cheek for some reason, well, either of them would do some good old spooning.
I love the fact you thought about this. This is quite concerning.
Yeah, what does it need a lot of thought? Which which one would you like to be spooned by most?
I think Bella Kotchap.
For the
Any
third week
excuse
in a
to
row,
play it.
you have for the third
Down
week in a
to
row,
the
you
right.
have tenuously dropped his name in.
I believe the term
Very.
is shoehorning.
Yeah, and
What player would I most like to spoon?
What is this?
Just to annoy Phil, Paddy B.
Oh
I
yeah,
reckon
I mean
he's
that's,
very cuddly.
I believe that the term there is route one.
And I'd be thinking about Phil the whole time. It would be lovely stuff.
in an awkward twist, actually, one of the
There's a more awkward twist to this podcast.
well, it does well, yeah, actually, because what I think Philip Billing of Bournemouth would be a good spooner.
Oh wow,
maybe-
he's a big fan of yours, following you
Well,
on
maybe
Twitter now.
I maybe need to be a bit careful because I have to see this man on a fairly regular basis. But yeah, there was an awkward moment this week with Phil Bell. Can I just share that quickly while we're kind of rambling?
Well, you did send us a screenshot.
Well, I sent
Yes.
you a screenshot. I thought
Yep.
it was lovely, lovely. I got a follow from Phil Bill. I thought, and it said follow
Philip
follow
Billing.
him.
Phil-
Sorry,
Billing.
Philip Billing. Follow him back. So I thought, well, why am I not following him already? But fine, I'll follow him. I try not to follow too many people. I'm a busy man, and I've only got so long for a sit down week. But I which is where I do most of my twittering. I thought, oh, that's lovely, and I screenshotted it to you. That's nice. I said he's only following 65 people, and yet he's picked to follow me. Isn't that nice?
Pretty kind. Really kind.
Anyway, turns out it was a fake account. Found out tonight. Words going around on the street. Fake account, everybody.
Oh dear.
Which is sad because I sent him a DM saying that I really like the Bible verse that he's. I'll even read you that. You know, I played it cool. Cheers for the follow back, Phil. And I really like the Romans 8 reference. It was a Bible reference. Catch you soon. Smiley face emoji. Unbelievable.
Oh, I need to set up more fake accounts and play this game again.
Really is
The
beautiful.
thing is, he's got 18,500 followers, and he's followed by some of the Bournemouth players.
They've all fallen for it. They're all sending him DMs.
Oh, they are. Yeah, awkward. Anyway,
You're,
Well, that's lovely.
You're right.
It really is.
sorry. Carry on.
Right, let's go over the fixtures.
Let's really tighten this up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
Fancy
You've
football.
slacked.
I feel bad that I'm the one pulling it back.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
low
don't
we've
have-
fallen.
Yeah, and I've played the Dan Burn clip 3 times because I lost control. So, Anthony, do you want to
all?
read the fixtures? I feel like my voice is a bit monotone.
Yeah, I mean, mine's even more monotone, but sure.
People need excitement in their lives. You know, it's been a bad week.
Here it comes.
It's been a bad day. Friday night, boys. 2 8:00 games. Oh, Villa, Southampton, Nottingham Forest against Fulham. What are we thinking, boys? All on the Metro train here.
Southampton
Southampton,
are not good on a Friday night, are they?
No. Well, they did lose 9-0, didn't they, on a Friday night?
Yep.
So if
That's the only game I'm basing that fact on. It's the
that's
only
as
game.
good as Mike's stat about Mitra and lunchtime games earlier. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a single other game that Southampton have played on a Friday night.
What players have you got in these first 2 games, then, boys?
I have
So-
Prowsey. Bit of Prowsage.
Oh, you just can't resist him, can you? Does he ever actually come good for you?
No, never.
No. Phil, anyone here?
No, I don't think I do. I haven't made my changes yet. But no, I've got Nico Williams of Forest. Just because he's classic bench material.
Maybe you'd like to do something.
Oh no.
What?
If you
What?
think you've had a bad week, I've just realised with Sanchez not playing that Danny Ward comes in off the bench.
Oh, that's poor.
Oh no.
He
Maybe
is-
Phil, you could, rather than copy me and go Harry Kane, you could do something like show some initiative and get Danny Ings in or something.
Danny Ings. I mean, that just feels like something your daughter would do, Phil.
I'm not rising to it, Anthony. Not rising to it. Talk to me about Saturday.
Saturday,
Well,
just
hold on. We're covering Nottingham Forest Fulham, lads. I know we've talked a bit about the Metro, but
You got Andreas. You got Andreas. I got Andreas. Classic bench lineup.
Ooh,
here.
yeah. Pereira.
Well, maybe he comes off a lot of benches this weekend, Andreas, and I wouldn't be worried about that if he was coming into my team.
No,
He's looked decent for them.
It's going to be in mine, that's for sure, Dr. Dre.
He's got very slick back hair, and for that reason, I don't find him attractive. But I think he's been pretty impressive in the games we've had so far. Forest look a bit leaky.
Yeah,
which is why I brought Henderson in mid.
Yeah, that makes sense. Either of you tend to buy Johnson? Scored a penalty against us in the last game.
I keep talking him up. Okay. I feel like a broken record on the Brennan Johnson front. I've been talking him up since pre-season.
Talking about, I haven't seen him in your team, mate.
No, not in my team because he's a forward.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition for spaces.
Yeah.
He's got to get ahead of Jesus, Mitrovic, Kane, Tony, and Haaland from kickoff. Then Dom Solanke, 5.7 million. Dom Solanke, he scored last game out, got 12 points against Forest. He's one to watch, everyone. Watch.
I would love him to be. Morgan Gibbs-White would be my shout from that game as a bit of a left field. 0.4% ownership. A lot of money, wasn't he? Was it late 30 million from Wolves? A lot of money. Yeah. But he's just starting to come good, I think.
Big day Saturday. And it's what I think we've coined it now, have we not, in our WhatsApp group, lads? A lot of people will remember Super Saturday. Super Saturday from the Olympic Games back in 2012. Following a sensitive operation I'm due to have on Friday night. It's Scrotum Saturday, isn't it? On Saturday. So exciting times. Wolves Man City open up Scrotum Saturday.
Oh no!
Actually, that's not open up and Scrotum are two words I don't need to be thinking about too hard right now.
I don't know what's worth thinking about that, or thinking about you spooning Souček. I mean, what are we doing?
No, I know 100%. I would much prefer to talk about Thomas Souček right now.
Let me be clear. It's Thomas Souček spooning me, not the other way around. The other way around, it really wouldn't work. It really wouldn't. It would look really weird.
Well,
you haven't got the length. By that I mean the height.
Well, I'll not have anything, mate. There'll be no spooning for anybody for a good week or so, I should imagine.
Please, I can't believe I'm pulling it back.
I'm sorry.
Right,
it's all right. It's all right. It's just quick.
Anyway,
Scrotum podcast. I say quick. No, we don't have to call it that. I don't think it's going to catch on. I just don't think it's going to catch on.
Okay.
Saturday. Okay, boys. Anyway, back to fixtures on Saturday. Lunchtime, 3:00 and 5:30. So lunchtime is Wolves Man City, 3:00 Newcastle against Bournemouth, and the 5:30 is Spurs against Leicester. I think everyone will be tripling up on their Spurs assets here, won't they? Spurs at home, late game, Leicester in disarray, and a lot of people will be captaining Kane.
Now,
you've obviously got Kane, Haaland here. Haaland's in the early fixture.
Yeah,
I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, lads, because I took Kulusevski out ahead of last weekend when they went to play Man City. I thought, well, it's time to move him on. Had I known that his next game was Leicester at home, I would have kept him in.
If only you did a podcast that talks about fixture runs coming up.
Oh no, he's only good for this week. I'd be shifting him out after this week anyway. But I would have liked to have had him for this week and not wasted 4 points on bringing in an injured Alan Saint-Maximin.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal.
Wolves Man City. What do we think here, lads? Because they played in Europe. Have they played in Europe this week?
They play tomorrow night. Apparently, it's only Tuesday tonight, so it'll be Wednesday tomorrow. What would be the way the Gregorian calendar works? So I think they're playing tomorrow night, and so it'll be interesting to see what lineup they tend to put out a different lineup in the middle of the week than they do at the weekend, don't they? So.
I mean, Wolves must be the most boring team to watch this season, no? I mean, they don't score many, but they also don't concede many.
You say this season, I think it's fair to say ever.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I can't see Wolves doing much.
What do we think?
I can see a
signing.
Oh, I love it. Diego Costa comes back.
5.5 million, lads.
Yeah.
Is he in the game now? Is he?
He's in the game. 5.5.
Oh, he's going to be so unfit. He hasn't played a game since February or something. But it is. I mean, that is the ultimate.
Have you seen his intro video today? It's hilarious. I mean, actual
it's
Wolves. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
He's got a pack of wolves on chains.
Yeah.
I was disappointed he wasn't topless. Not for you don't need to play the music again, Phil. But that was all. That's all it needed. It needed him to just some ripped jeans and his top off for it to be, about as masculine as it gets. He is now 52 years old. That is the only concern I've got.
Now he looks 52, and he's actually about 28.
He's
He's
actually
not
been
about
trans-
28. He's 33, just to be clear.
He's
Which is
younger than
about
all of
28,
us.
I suppose. Yeah.
He's actually it was 6 years ago, the last full season he had in the Premier League,
Good
and he
grief.
got 20 goals and 11 assists in that time.
Well, Wolves need to I mean, just to reiterate their boringness, there's only been 7 goals in the 6 games involving Wolves this season.
Okay, so does that mean they keep
Straightforward.
Haaland at bay?
Yeah, well, not necessarily at bay, but I can't see, famous last words, I can't see a Haaland mega haul.
I have to agree, yeah. A 1 or
think
2
it'll
nil
be
win for me.
tight, which is why I plan on captaining Kane. Who knows who your captain will be,
What?
Mike?
Oh, Phil.
So the other game, so everyone is banking. Everyone's going Newcastle, aren't they, against Bournemouth?
They really
And
are.
Bournemouth won last time out. They've got the sort of siege mentality now. Still no manager permanently, as far as I'm aware. Gary O'Neill will probably be the new manager. If you know, as a Bournemouth fan, that tends to be what happens. They employ from within a lot. Cheap option. So fair play to him. You know, give him a go. Why not? So I think it could be. I don't think Newcastle. If Newcastle are sort of winning 2 or 3-0, I don't think Eddie will go for the jugular out of respect.
I don't. Not
You don't know Eddie Howe, do you?
I love Eddie Howe. I'd like to think that's the situation.
No, he'll want to put one over us big time. I mean, we've conceded 18 goals, but we should obviously just point out that half of those were in a single game against Liverpool this season. So, yes, okay, we have been leaky, but particularly in one game. So, but I actually fancy both teams to score here, boys. High scoring draw.
Oh,
okay,
that doesn't bode well with your triple defense, Newcastle defense.
Well, this is the wild card that I'm not going to play, so it's fine.
Okay.
Maybe I should double up in the midfield, Longstaff and Almiron.
That is the dream. Do it, Phil. Please do.
I could
Be our
certainly.
guest.
So I might go Salah to Almiron. Everyone's making that.
Wow.
Move, so I don't want to copy everyone. Get accused of copying again. I could go Salah to Almiron. Maybe I'll go Gundogan to Almiron just to spice things up. Anyway, so the fixtures on Sunday, Anthony.
Yes.
Let's go to them quickly.
Just 2 of them: Brentford against Arsenal at noon, and Everton against West Ham. I mean, the Everton West Ham game may not be the most appealing on paper, but 2 teams who have had a bit of a struggle, lying 16th and 18th in the league respectively. I think it could be a good game, that one, boys, to finish the weekend off. What do we think?
I think it's going to be dreadful.
Do you reckon?
Everyone's going. Well, a lot of people are going Bowen, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of people are going Bowen now, and it can only be because of the fixtures, because he's done naff all season.
Yeah, but his price has dropped to 8.1. People have got Diaz in midfield, who's obviously a similar price, so maybe a 1-week punt. They're going over to Bowen. Perhaps that's the reason. But the highest scoring player for West Ham was tied. It's Pablo Fornals, and then Thomas Souček, Mike Spooner, who's right at the top. But yeah, low ownership across the whole of the West Ham team, and Everton are not very good. The highest owned player for West Ham, anyone guess?
I would say Fabianski.
Incorrect.
So, did you say the highest owned player?
Yep.
Scamacca.
Is it?
Oh, need to link that up.
Is it Antonio?
It's not. It is Declan Rice.
Is it really?
Rice. Yeah, surprising.
Oh gosh, it reminds me. I've still got to do my biscuit 11.
Oh, are we doing that? Are we? Oh, okay. Right. Well,
do
you
may want to save that till next week.
You may want to.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Well, I'll just give you where I'm at, and then perhaps listeners could get in touch between now and the next episode to give us some suggestions to fill in the whole 11.
With the new series of Bake Off currently on as we're recording, Bethany Megan getting in touch saying there is a fantasy Bake Off starting.
Imagine.
So if you follow Bethany Megan on Twitter, then she's got a link out there to join the league. So
here we go then.
A biscuit 11, and then our punts, and then honestly, everyone, you can turn us off.
Okay, so Matt Rich T is obviously going to be it's going to feature.
It feels
captain,
like that's where you started and maybe peaked.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Things did get a bit desperate after that. I'm gonna have Dunk as the captain. Just
It's
not
more
biscuit, but
more of a biscuit action than a biscuit.
Yeah, I was going to say
you're right, but I feel it sort of works.
Is it a biscuit verb?
Yeah, probably. A lot of defenders in my team so far. Steve Cookie.
Clever.
Yeah.
You know, that's very good. Is it a nice biscuit or a Nice biscuit?
Oh, it's nice.
I always got told it was a Nice biscuit.
Perfect. So
Oh.
we'll have for Phil we'll have Nice James, and for Ant we'll have Declan Nice.
Okay.
And then the only other one I've got at the moment is Custard Ream.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ream
that's
of,
good.
that's all I've got at the moment. So 6 players at the moment. I would like to find another 5.
Well, put it out there on Twitter before next week. I'm sure we can get some more.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be something there. I don't have the time or inclination to think of any right now.
It's fine.
But yeah, I'm sure there will be. Have you got a punt where we pick a player of less than 2% ownership, and then
Yes.
maybe next week, Mike, you won't need your captain picked by a listener. So tell you what, Mike. Seeing as you're having your captain pick this week, you can pick the first punt.
Well, I don't know that I am having my captain pick. But
You are.
I'll go Almiron.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! This is a disgrace. You've turned into a terribly calculating, bitter old man.
Yeah, well, many of those things are correct. Morph, please.
I'm going to go Mikel Antonio, 1.9% ownership away at Everton. Phil's now hurriedly finding somebody else.
That feels very 2 years ago, Mikel Antonio, but
well,
why not?
I'm going for it.
I'm tempted to do the bot ban, and I will get a sound effect for that one day. But yeah, I want someone in the West Ham Everton game because then at least I've got a reason to watch it. So on that basis, let's go crazy, let's go wild. Damari Gray.
Oh, okay. I've still got 2 anecdotes from the week to share with you that I actually wrote down before we went live. But
hey, tell us them, and at this point, if you want to turn off, you can, but you might miss great anecdotes.
Well, the first one was from last night. Anthony was there actually, but I don't know whether he caught it. There was a moment where I did a shout and shouted "mine" as a ball came towards me, and we have a vicar.
Sorry, comment live from Voiter. Congratulations on this. This is our 99th episode, so
We've got to do something
big for 100. And good luck on Scrotum Saturday.
Thank you, Voiter. Much appreciated. Anyway, I was playing football, and there's a vicar that plays with us. He likes to take it quite seriously. And I shouted "mine," and he said, "You wouldn't get away with that in the Premiership." To which I turned to him and said, "Actually, you would do, because the Premiership isn't a thing, and therefore there are no rules. Actually, the Premier League now." But by which time he had gone up the other end and scored. But
just enjoy this.
That was an anecdote from last night. The other one is just to let you know about. Well, I've tweeted it. It's starting to go viral, to be honest. 58 retweets.
Who did you tweet it to?
348
Phil
likes.
Bill. Phil Bill shared it.
So this is genuine. I went to Morrison's for my lunchtime meal deal on Monday. In fact, I went there for breakfast as well. I went for breakfast.
No wonder this has gone viral. So what did you buy?
I went there for breakfast. Actually, well, this is a funny old story. I bought a croissant. But I also bought some. I also bought some frozen jacket potatoes to heat up with my beef stew that I'd taken in for lunch.
I know this podcast is long enough, but I really have to pick you up on a couple of things. Right, if you are buying croissants for breakfast and you are working in Verwood, I can't stress enough how much Lidl's bakery goods are better than Morrison's. And
no, I understand
cheaper.
that. I understand that.
Secondly,
they don't open until 8 o'clock, though.
I hugely disagree with the concept of a frozen baked potato.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm still to try one for reasons that I can explain another day. Anyway,
hang on. Where is your frozen baked potato? Considering you bought
it in the freezer at work.
Oh, you got a freezer at work. That's exciting. Carry on.
All mod cons. So anyway, I swiped. I went to the self checkout as I like to, especially that time of the morning. So I scanned the item and I was like, oh, doesn't appear to have scanned. And then I was like, oh no, it has. It has. Fine. And then scanned not a croissant because you put the number in for them. And I think what else I bought. I think I bought some. I bought some milk for the office. It's the kind of guy I am. Put the milk through.
You're listening to Shopping Trip.
Right. I've gone back at lunchtime. I'm a bit confused by the situation. There's something wasn't quite right with the scanners. Fine. I've gone back at lunchtime. I've got my meal deal. I've got my Yorkie. I've got my BLT sandwich. I've got my cherry Coke, 0. Is it better or worse for the sugar? I just don't know. I haven't got time for that.
Original Yorkie or
biscuit and raisin, my friend.
Oh, thank
Biscuit
you.
and
Of course, yeah.
Anyway, I'm scanning them again and I'm thinking, this scanner is really slow. What on earth is going with it? I worked it out, lads. This is a true story. They have turned off the beeps on the self-scan checkouts in respect to the Queen.
Fair.
That's not it. Look it up. It's not even a joke. Because I went to Buckingham Palace. I've respected the Queen. Thank you very much. I've done my bit. They have turned off the beeps on the checkouts. They've also turned off all music in Morrison supermarkets. But they've turned off the beeps.
Good grief.
Is that what the Queen would have wanted?
Well, I've seen that in Norwich city centre, and I'm not Alan Partridge. They have closed 2 of the bike racks for 3 days due to a period of mourning and respect of the Queen, because she obviously wouldn't want people cycling through Norwich city centre.
There are some weird things that people are doing in terms of cancelling stuff, but that's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you thought that cancelling football was quite annoying,
Yeah.
think of the blind people trying to use this. I mean, they probably don't use the self-service checkout if they're blind.
Got this far without having to edit.
That's not editable. That's fine.
No, that's fair. Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
We've had
Well,
a
we'll have
lovely
fun.
get together, haven't we?
We've
I mean,
had
this has cheered me right up.
an interesting get together. Yeah. Interesting get together. It's nice to see your faces. Mike, good luck with whoever your captain is on Saturday. And have a lovely rest of the week. And we'll see you on the other side for episode 100.
Wow.
100.
We need some cake.
I tell you what, if you think this episode's bad, go back and listen to episode 1. Oh dear, oh dear.
How do we ever make it to 99?
Hello and welcome to the fantasy fantasy fleet. Hello. Oh, it was terrible. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.